He didn't have Jalen Hurts in his top 10 quarterbacks in the league. Jalen Hurts is a great quarterback. But if we're talking about what they bring to the table, it's hard to judge what Jalen do when you're throwing to a guy like A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. You have a tight end skill set. You have a dominant defense and the best running back in the game. Jalen Hurts does not have to play elite for the Eagles to win. He has to play good, but he doesn't have to play elite. We're just asking you not to win the game. We're just asking you not to lose it. Okay. T.O., this is what T.O. had to say.
Yeah.
You would be judging him as if all that wasn't playing well. This is a Skip Bayless type of a statement with dreads. Don't be mad at Jalen because he's making great decisions. Maybe had you made the decision to jump on that ball, just maybe, y'all would say anything to go viral. This isn't it, Cam.
That's
T.O. real for that. T.O. is real for that. That is definitely a Skip Bayless take with dreads. It's an absolutely ridiculous take to say Jalen Hurts is not top 10. Not top 10? Absolutely insane. After he was just saying, well, after the Super Bowl 3 days later, Jalen Hurts, man, you know, he's changing the game. You got to put him in your top 5, this, that, and the third. Saying he's a real jigger. I'm going to use that word for this video. He's a real jigger and all this and all that. And then a couple days before training camp, and mind you, there's no games being played for him just to change his take and say, like, Jalen Hurts is not top 10. And I get it. The content's a little dry right now. Ain't really nothing going on. So you got to make these hot takes to get a lot of impressions, which he did. I think if you go on Twitter, he got like 2-3 million impressions on this take because it's a ridiculous take. It's crazy, but let me go ahead and play the clip.
It's touchy, but listen, as a quarterback, you have to respect what Cam is saying. As a receiver, I understand Jalen's side. I understand what Nick Sirianni asked from Jalen Hurts. I understand that they are a team where it's not aesthetically pleasing from an offensive standpoint of throwing the ball 2 million times a game. I get that. Why do you think A.J. Brown was upset some games? Why do you think A.J. Brown takes that book and reads the book on the sideline some days in some games? Some games he goes off. Some games Devontae Smith goes off. Saquon Barkley does what he needs to do. Jalen Hurts does exactly what the Philadelphia Eagles ask of him when it comes to running that offense. And he does it to perfection, which is why they have them fucking big-ass goddamn rings. That's it. It's simple.
Let me just add a little bit to that, Ocho. The great point. Great point. But I will say this, too. The book thing, you know, that's something A.J. Brown been doing, but all year it just happened to get caught on camera when he wasn't having the best game, right? But another thing is that Jalen Hurts, what he does is he's maximized his talent around him. I said this in my video. If you've seen my video before this video, I was like, yo, I don't think a Joe Burrow, even a Lamar Jackson, get the best out of a Saquon Barkley. Because, one, with Lamar Jackson, he would have been running the ball a lot more, and Lamar Jackson had a Derrick Henry who didn't touch 2,000 yards. Now, Derrick Henry had a great season. I mean, look at his numbers, but it wasn't a Saquon season. Joe Burrow, we know he's not as mobile as a Jalen Hurts, so he's not going to get the best out of him. We know Justin Herbert's not going to get the best out of a Saquon Barkley. But the number one thing they hold against Jalen Hurts, like if they had these wide receivers, their numbers would have been crazy, right? But what a lot of people forget, A.J. Brown was dinged up basically the whole year. He missed 4.5 games with 1,079 yards. Think about it. He missed 4.5 games with 1,079 yards. So say each of those games, let's put a number on it. Let's say if he got 50 yards each game he missed. So that would have been about an extra 200 yards. So he could have had almost 1,300 yards. And we know that's just numbers I'm making up because we know A.J. Brown could go for 80, 100, maybe 150 one game. Like, you just don't know. And then again, there were probably games we had AJ Brown out there just as a decoy because he was hurt. Because when you watch him against in the playoffs against the Green Bay Packers, he wasn't really touching the ball as much. And that was one of the games he even admitted he was hurt. The game he started feeling good in was the Washington game. That was the game he was like, okay, I am healthy. I am ready to go. Then we watched the Super Bowl and we watched the Washington game. You could see the difference. And even certain games in the season, you could see the difference. So that's A.J. Brown with Devontae Smith. Every time you seen the injury report, hamstring, 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 hamstring. Then he had that concussion, hamstring, hamstring. Even in the Super Bowl, hamstring. And he was still able to get like 868 yards or something like that, right? What I'm trying to point or what I'm trying to allude to is that Jalen Hurts, again, just getting the most he can get out of these guys. That's what I'm trying to say. Even with a Dallas Goedert, right, almost had 500 yards, but he missed like 4 or 5 games. So let's say if Dallas Goedert got like 50, 60 yards each game, now you're talking about a tight end that could have had about 700 yards. You almost had a tight end with 700 yards, a wide receiver with over 1,000 yards, and Devontae Smith, and you almost had another receiver with 1,400 yards if these guys were healthy all season. But the one guy that was healthy all season was Saquon Barkley, and he got the most out of that. So what get held against Jalen Hurts is having great talent around him, and they don't think he's maximizing the talent, and which I think is a complete fallacy if you really watch the Eagles all year.
Game of football is not complicated. Understand your personnel. Understand your personnel strengths and your personnel's weaknesses. Use it to your advantage and play simple football. It's not complicated. It's not hard. And they do exactly what they're supposed to do, play within the confines of what we do well. It ain't throwing the ball 100 times a game. It's throwing it when you have to. It's running it when you need to. Simple.
It really is. I look at it like, what is required of me to win? Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not finna punish this guy.
Right.
Because he's throwing the great receivers. Mm-hmm. Because Troy threw to a great receiver, Terry Bradshaw threw to great receivers, Joe Montana threw to great receivers. There are a lot of great quarterbacks that's in the Hall of Fame that threw to great receivers. Right. So I'm not finna hold that against him. Mm-hmm. Troy Aikman's in the Hall of Fame, and he just got the all-time leading rusher in his backfield. Mm. So do we hold that against him? Did we hold that mammoth offensive line? Many believe he had the greatest offensive line in history. Hey. We don't hold that against him.
Right.
At the end of the day, you do what is asked, what is required of you in order to win the game.
That's it. And he does it.
I'm sure Jalen Hurts in college prepared him for the NFL. Mm-hmm. Because playing for Nick Saban, you're going to play to win the game. Now, it might require you to throw it 35 times.
Yes, sir.
More times than not, you're going to run it 40 times, mm-hmm. and you're going to play outstanding defense. So he was prepared for this. I watched him in Oklahoma, and I watched him throw the ball. Yeah. He can.
Yeah.
But that's not what was required. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if you ask him to throw the ball. I'm not saying that he couldn't.
Yeah, he can.
I don't know if that's conducive for them to win. Yeah. Why would I go get Saquon Barkley to all of a sudden now unleash Jalen Hurts throwing the ball 35, 40 times a game like he's, they run and shoot? That makes no sense.
Mm. That's all we saying, man. If you going to get Saquon Barkley, that's a talent, and you're paying Saquon Barkley a lot of money, why not use him? That's the point of getting Saquon Barkley. So we using Saquon Barkley's success and diminishing Jalen Hurts, what he did this season. It just doesn't make any sense. And then two, why would you get a guy like that? And now all of a sudden, yeah, let's throw the ball 40 times a game because we're going to use Saquon Barkley as a decoy. No, doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense at all. But I'm going to put a link in the description to this video. I don't want to play the whole thing. You could go watch it, the full thing. But they made some great points. I seen this video actually before I reacted to it because I forgot to hit start. So this is like my second take. And look, Jalen Hurts is 1-1, man. He's a dog, and I just don't like that he don't get the credit he deserves. But it is what it is, man. They made some great points. They said, like, I don't even know how you leave Jalen Hurts out of top 5, but leave him out of top 10 is crazy. So you guys got to watch this full clip, man. It was pretty dope by Ocho and those guys. Again, link will be in the description to watch the full video. Y'all know me. Even if I disagree, I will put a link in the description. Y'all leave a bunch of comments under this video, the original. Y'all can leave some comments under mine too. Let me know where I'm off at. And thank you guys. And this is Eagle Owl, man. I'm out.